Welcome, English learners, to English Class channel. Reading Comprehension. Human rights. Struggling with reading comprehension? In this video, will help English learners develop the skills needed to understand passages more easily by expanding your vocabulary and training your brain to process information as you read. You'll improve comprehension and make reading more enjoyable, perfect for students, language learners, or anyone looking to strengthen their reading skills. Instructions. Pause the video whenever necessary to review or understand key points. Adjust the playback speed to a pace that's comfortable for you. Take notes to expand your vocabulary range. Rewatch the video as often as possible to improve your reading skills. Listen to my reading, try shadowing along, and then practice reading it out loud on your own. Section 1. Pre-reading. A right is something a person has which people think should not be taken away. International law is the law that is used when there is a conflict between countries. The term race or racial group refers to dividing the human species into groups. An ethnic group is a group of people who are considered to be the same in some or multiple ways. Today, the ideas of human rights are protected as legal rights in national and international law. They are seen as universal, which means they are meant for everyone, no matter what their race, religion, ethnicity, nationality, age, political beliefs, or any other kind of beliefs, intelligence, disability. Every person has all of these rights. It is not possible to only grant some of them. All human rights are universal, indivisible, and interdependent and related. The international community must treat human rights globally in a fair and equal manner, on the same footing and with the same emphasis. Section 2. Pre-reading. The Age of Enlightenment was an 18th century intellectual movement in Europe to make people more aware about science rather than religion and tradition. A leader is somebody whom people follow. A leader has authority. The American Revolutionary War was a war fought between Great Britain and the original 13 colonies in North America from 1775 to 1783. The French Revolution was a revolution in France from 1789 to 1799. It ended the French monarchy. Free will is being able to choose between different actions. Morality is the concept of doing the right thing. Morals are basic guidelines for living. History. The idea of human rights originated from ideas found in religion and philosophy in Western Europe. The modern Western idea of human rights started in the European Enlightenment. In the 16th century, some people started suggesting that everyone had the religious and political right to choose their religion and their leaders. This sort of thinking was important in the English Civil War. After the war, the philosopher John Locke argued that people should have a certain set of human rights. These ideas were also important in the American Revolution and the French Revolution in the 18th century. In the 19th century, John Stuart Mill was an important philosopher who also thought about human rights. He said that people should be able to control their own bodies and minds. He talked about three special ideas: freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to seek happiness while not hurting others. Hegel was a philosopher who wrote about the idea of free will. He believed that in order to have freedom, a person should be able to own property, make contracts with other people, make moral promises to people, live with anyone, get protection from laws, have a voice in government. Section 3. Pre-reading. Politics is about making agreements between people so that they can live together in groups such as tribes, cities, or countries. Overthrow. A coup d'etat is the removal of a head of state and or a head of government from power. The constitution of a country or a state is a special type of law document that tells how its government is supposed to work. A treaty is a written agreement between two or more parties, which may be countries or other important groups. Laws. Because people believe that human rights are important, countries make laws to protect them. These laws say that governments cannot take away people's basic rights. They make sure people who take away other people's rights are punished. However, many countries in the world do not protect the human rights of their people. Some major political groups and countries have made statements that promote human rights. Many governments and international groups punish human rights violators by refusing to trade with them or even helping groups that want to overthrow their governments. Some of the important places that human rights laws are written is in constitutions. The United States Constitution and Constitution of France are two of the oldest set of laws based on human rights. In 1948, the United Nations made the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This is a widely respected document that lists what the United Nations believes are human rights. It is not a law, but two important agreements have been written based on its ideas. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. These are United Nations human rights covenants, agreements between people or countries. The countries who sign these two covenants agree to follow them. In addition to those declarations and covenants, there are many treaties and documents made by United Nations and other international organizations. Those treaties and documents are called international human rights law. Section 4. Pre-reading. The nationality of a person is that person's legal relationship with a state. A trial is where two people or two groups of people argue in a court. Violence is when someone attacks someone else, often to get them to do something they do not want to do, by making them feel pain. Political asylum may be asked for when people frightened to live in or oppressed in their own country. The right to petition is when a country allows people to gather and voice an opinion or problem they think should be corrected without arrest or punishment by the government. List of human rights. Not everyone agrees on what the basic human rights are. It is clear that few countries permit all these rights. Also, there are countries in which the rights are not illegal, but nothing is done to promote them. Here is a list of some of the most recognized rights. Fundamental rights. Right to live, to be a citizen of a country. Right to housing. Right to a fair trial. To own property. Safety. Safety from violence, physical, mental. To seek asylum if a country treats you badly. Fair trial and to be considered innocent until proven guilty, especially in America, owning weapons like guns to protect yourself. General life freedoms, the right to get an education, health care, medical care, to believe and practice the religion a person wants, to be protected one's privacy. Political freedoms, the right to express yourself, free speech, to peacefully protest, speak against a government or group, to petition. Section 5. Free reading. During a genocide, a group tries to destroy another group because of their ethnicity, race, nationality, or religion. Voting is when a group of people decide something by saying what they want. It can be for electing a leader or representative. Amnesty International, also called AI or Amnesty, is an international organization founded in London in 1961. Human Rights Watch is an international non-governmental organization. Its activities include research and advocacy on human rights. An Act of Parliament or Act is law made by the Parliament. Abuses. Human rights abuses are when a person is hurt in a way that violates, goes against her human rights. Human rights abuses are also often called human rights violations. Examples of human rights abuses or violations are arresting someone because they said the government is doing bad things, not letting people practice their religion, genocide, not letting a member of a country vote. Many people, groups, and countries think protecting human rights is very important, but not everyone in the world believes in human rights. If people who do not believe in human rights have political power, they can hurt many people. Even if these people have no political power, they can be violent to other people. There are many people who work to protect everyone's human rights. Some of these are government groups, and some are not with any government. They are sometimes called human rights organizations. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch are examples of human rights organizations. In the UK, every act of Parliament must comply with the European Convention on Human Rights. Nonetheless, a person can challenge an act if it violates the Convention. However, The government are not bound to change the law due to incompatibility, and they have the power to pass a law that contravenes with the human rights if they wish. Don't forget to subscribe to English Class channel. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you definitely enjoyed this one. Keep reading and see you in the next video.